What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Don't just watch the video. Appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you're gathering information from the content, helpful information. Nevertheless, still need you to subscribe to the channel as it helps the algorithm. Like the video and leave a comment if you support the channel. We're trying to move the channel to another level, a different level, if you will. It's time to progress. I do understand, however, that I have to do my part in order for that to happen, and I'm here for it. Now, this came across me early this morning. A so-called public threat issued by some SouthSiders in Compton, the T-Flats to be exact. And I had to get up early and just react to this and do a video on it real quick. Now, the statement came from someone else, I guess a black dude, and he's just saying that this is what's going on out here in Compton. As you can see, the so-called public threat, it said that they had shot up a car full of older black women inside of the car. Now, I'm not in Compton, I'm not from Compton, I haven't been able to confirm whether or not this is true, whether or not the T-Flats actually issued a public threat, a green light on the Pyrus out there, which really translate into every black that they see. Now, it wouldn't be surprising to me if this is true and if they indeed did shoot up a car full of older black women. Let me make myself clear. I am not here to foment violence against any group, any faction, any ethnicity, any section. I look forward to the day when we can all just get along. However, until that day is nigh, until we reach that pinnacle, I must defend myself and my community at all costs. I will not apologize for that. Myself and my people are not seeking trouble with anyone. Such is the nature of the black man. We carry on and mind our own business. If we seek violence against anyone, unfortunately, it's against one another. But soon, that's all going to be rectified. And the powers that be understand that we're working towards this reconciliation with one another. History is a good indicator. It teaches us that whenever the black man has strived to come together as one, the powers that be have interfered and intervened every single time and threw wrenches inside of the game, hoping that we would turn on one another and therefore thwart the peace efforts, understanding and realizing that the day that the black man unites and comes together, there shall be hell to pay. For many people, for the injustices of yesterday. They understand this. And so their biggest fear is for us to come together as one. And whenever we start even talking about coming together, all sorts of things start happening to put obstacles in our way, hoping to thwart our peace efforts. Again, why? Why would they do this? Why do they not want black people to have peace amongst themselves? Why do they not want world peace, peace amongst everyone? Why do they not want this? What kind of human being would not want people to have peace? What kind of human being would not want a race of people who has been committing genocide against themselves to stop that, to stop unaliving one another and get along. Who would not want that? It's better for the entire world. It's better for every community if the black community is together. Well, I'll tell you who doesn't want it. The people who have committed atrocities against this same community that is now fractured. Understanding that should they ever get it together and get on the right track and unite and come together and stop using that violence against one another and that anger towards one another and turn it into the direction that really deserves it, we're in big trouble. And the only way that they're going to turn it towards us is if they come together and stop turning it towards one another. So they do everything to make sure we stay separated and fractured. But this is not an excuse for us to stay separated and fractured. We know better. We know what they're trying to do. When the Black Panthers came together, J. Edgar Hoover, well, he infiltrated. He began to send letters to Eldridge Cleaver, making it seem like they came from Huey P. Newton and vice versa. And in these letters, he was saying, you don't run nothing, punk. He was using the word punk, P-U-N-K. I run this organization. And they ended up like almost putting hits out on one another. He destroyed the Black Panther Party with the COINTELPRO because black people were coming together and this is their biggest fear. So he said, we have to do something to make them fight one another again. So much so that he went and put together fraudulent letters and made it seem like this came from Huey P. and this came from Eldridge Cleaver when it really came from the FBI. And it worked. It ruined the Panther Party. When the blacks came together, the gangs came together with the peace truce after the Rodney King situation in 1992. Everyone knows that the police began to do drive-bys. The police put red rags on their head, dressed up as Bloods, and went into Crip neighborhoods and shot them up. They put on blue rags on their head and went to Blood neighborhoods and shot it up, committed crimes, unalivings, shootings, to get black people to begin to beef with one another again. Because, again, their biggest fear is us coming together. We had came together and put down the rags and the weapons. And all of America was in fear. The word went out. Caused the separation again. Have them at each other's heads. Even if it takes some shootings. And they went around different neighborhoods in the catacombs, grottos, and ghettos of America. And they began to have shootings, the police, and make it seem like the opposition gang had put off the shooting. You doubt this? You don't know America. So we know that different sections and factions fear the black man uniting, and for good reason. You should. But we cannot blame them and their antics and tactics for us not coming together. Since we know better, we know that this is what they do to separate us, to keep us divided. They're very divisive. We have to overcome this. We have to surmount this. We have to be more intelligent than this and say, despite your efforts, we're going to unite. And so you take the situation now. All of a sudden, the Pyrus have a peace walk, or whatever it was, a come together, a get along day. All of the Pyrus in Compton. It was a beautiful sight. Brothers coming together as one, red everywhere. Throw up the P. Throw up the P. but it was all done in love. As we all know, not long thereafter, the Crips followed suit there on the west side. And they had a coming together of their own. Hats off to them. I applaud that. We need it. Black people, black women, older black men, older black women, our black brothers and sisters, our black children are counting on us black men to be strong and intelligent, to come together and to protect them. We have to justify their faith in us. And so they have the peace walks, the Pyrus, and then next the Crips. Now all of a sudden, after these peace walks, Kendrick Lamar's mural in Compton is destroyed. Supposedly the T-Flats had already said that they didn't want peace with the Treetop Pyrus and all of this. I already did a video on it. It'll be released today or so, about whether or not they had asked for peace. They said that they did, but that the T-Flats didn't want peace. And now we find out that after these peace walks, and the world is beginning to see that the black man is coming together with their biggest fear. Again, what is their biggest fear? That we will one day unite and realize fully in our souls that we've been duped. We realize who the true enemy is and how we can really get our freedom. No matter what it takes, we understand this once we come together. And then we make moves to obtain said freedom, no matter what those moves are. Well, they fear this. Even some Southsider gangs, because blacks have been beefing with Southsider gangs for decades. They too understand that if the black man comes together, well, things will be different. And so now, when all of a sudden the Compton Pyrus are coming together and had this peace walk, and the Crips do the same, now they're putting out public statements talking about it's a green light on the blacks. They want to keep us separated and fractured. They want to cause chaos and havoc before we can really come together. Before everything is resolved and settled, they want to put shit in the game to keep us at one another's throat, keep us at their throat, because nothing has really been resolved yet. And so we can never get around to it because we at war with them. This helps to keep us ununited. We must be smarter than this, though. And at the end of the day, when we're talking about coming together and uniting as one race, any other race that gets in the way of that should be dealt with immediately. This is just the bottom line. Again, I'm not fomenting violence. Just self-defense. Just an understanding of whatever it takes for us to unite and obtain our freedom, I am willing to do. Regardless of what you have to say about it. I don't give a damn. But I just wanted to do a video on that real quick in reaction to that. Supposedly the T-Flats, they put out a green light on the blacks. And in the past, I say I'm not surprised by this. It's probably true that they didn't shut up a car with old black women, because in the past, when they've had so-called green lights on blacks on the street, I ain't talking about no county jail shit, no prison yard shit, on the street, they have shot black kids, black women, black men, old, young. It's a green light. It's a green light. They don't care. They shooting in the cars with kids up in there. They was doing that, bro, in the 2000s. When these wars was going on, when they had these green lights on the street. I remember. I ain't going to name certain gangs, bro. I recall clearly, though, everything that was going on. So I wouldn't be surprised because when it's a green light, when it's wartime, it is what it is. The trigger, the bullets have no names. They just squeezing, letting it go on anything and everything that is black. Well, I, I'm sorry. But we have to adapt the same mentality. An eye for an eye. Don't you bring your motherfucking ass to our neighborhoods, unaliving our little kids. Because if you do, we will come back to your neighborhood. We will kick in your fucking door. And we will do the same thing to you and your family that you've done to us and our family. We love our kids too, America. It's time you understand this shit. You're out here unaliving our children for no reason. They can't drive down the street. They can't play in the park. They can't be in their own homes, boiling hot water. We love our families too. But the problem, black man, is that they don't see us as human beings. They don't even think that we have the capacity to love. They think when they unalive our 16-year-old son that we're supposed to feel nothing because we're animals. And he was an animal. No, this is what they believe. Clearly. They don't think that you have the capacity to love, to feel for your own child, your own brother, because you're an animal who is devoid of feeling. That's why when they unalive your child in the street, a 17-year-old Mike Brown, they leave him out there, dead, for hours in the street, for everybody to pass by and see. Don't even cover up his body, because he's just an animal. And they expect you, the community, to pass by, see his body lying down on the street, and feel nothing, because you have no feelings, because you're an animal. And if you should show emotion and should feel for your child, you haven't been desensitized. You cry for someone else's child who was gunned down in the street. They tell you to get over it. They don't understand where the emotion is coming from. Because you're not supposed to feel. They're only supposed to love their child. They only love their kids. Let them tell it. They only love their kids. We don't love ours. The black people don't care. We don't care about our children. That's why you can kill them dead in the street and they ain't gonna do nothing. This is what they believe. Well, do you love your child? Black man? Do you love your sister? Because if so, then when they bring their funky asses to our neighborhoods and we've done nothing to them, we're over here minding our own business, unaliving each other. We're not even bringing the heat to them. We're supposed to be, but we're not. We're bringing the heat to each other. And they still want to come over here and bother us. And sometimes, again, we'll shoot our child down dead in the street in our neighborhood. Will you bring your ass over there and try it now? This is a new day and a new black man. Yes, we are loving and forgiving people. That's why we're stumped upon. Because we don't respond and we don't retaliate the way we're supposed to. Everyone knows this. You can kill a black man and get away with it in the court system and on the street. George Zimmerman, he got away with it. He's still on the street living a good life. On the street. So far, he's gotten away with it. Perhaps one day that'll change. One day soon. Be a nice message to send. But when you come over here to our neighborhoods and we've done nothing, and you unalive our children, we want you to understand that we're going to come back, kick in your door, and unalive yours. No, we're not child unalivers. We don't want to unalive anyone. That's why we're over here minding our business. But we're not going to sit back and allow you to continue to unalive our children while yours is just walking around living their best life. Because we love our kids too. And we can show you better than we can tell you. So if this is true, the operative word being if, or whoever issues a public threat against the black community, because they're not just talking about it's on with the Pyrus. Again, in the past, when they've had these so-called green lights, and I'm talking about the SouthSiders, when they've had these so-called green lights against their opposition black gang, they will shoot at any black in that neighborhood. Be it a man, woman, or fucking child. They can deny it all they want. It's happened in the past. It's happened many times. So if they issue this green light, then not just the Pyrus in Compton, but the blacks in Compton, period, need to come together and unite. The blacks in America, the blacks all around the world need to put down their weaponry as it relates to one another. And when you decide to pick it back up, it will be aimed at someone other than another black man. The real opposition. Retribution is ours. But we go around with forgiveness in our hearts and not even looking for trouble. But these people, they're bringing the trouble to us. We're not even asking for any trouble. They bring the trouble to us. I'm only on here because they issued this statement. They issued a public threat against black people. And it came across my desk. I'm not on here looking for trouble. They're looking for the trouble. They're issuing public threats and statements against black people. Not me. I haven't issued a public statement against Mexicans. Now, this is not every SouthSider. This is not every SouthSider gang. Some blacks get along with their SouthSider counterparts in the proximity of their neighborhoods. They get along with some of these gangs. And that's okay. Some SouthSiders want to end all of the turmoil as well and want us to get along. You hear them say, I hear them in my comments, man, black and brown come together. Black and brown. They understand who the real foe is. Some of them do get it. So this is not for everyone. This is for those who fancy issuing threats, disseminating threats to black communities, black people in black neighborhoods. We just want you to know, whoever you are, we will seek you out, we will find you, and we will destroy you. And every damn thing that you touch, we're not going to sit back and allow you to come to our neighborhoods and unalive our children, a la Trayvon Martin. In the same way, black man, that I cannot come to your neighborhood. The Hoovers, or for the sake of it, let me just switch it up and say, the Main Street Crip, cannot come over there to the Hoovers and unalive a 17-year-old Hoover who's in his own neighborhood just chilling, walking home with a pack of Skittles. And he come over there, and the Main Streets come over there and gun him down. Like George Zimmerman did Trayvon Martin. Immediately, there will be a response. That same day, the Hoovers will go and respond, vice versa. The Bloods can't go into any Crip neighborhood and unalive one of their 17-year-old little young rider homeboys. Little kid who's out here trying to gang bang, but he's just a kid. And you go over there and you put one in his head and unalive him right in his own neighborhood. There's going to be a response immediately. That day, carloads of people are coming to your neighborhood shooting it up in response, in retaliation for coming over there and unaliving their homeboy. Every gang is going to respond. Any gang is going to respond immediately. If any opposition gang comes to your neighborhood, unalives your little 17-year-old homeboy, who y'all love, and care about from your gang, that same day you're mounting up with weapons and you're going to respond and retaliate on this gang that did this. And yet, George Zimmerman is able to come to your neighborhood, unalive your 17-year-old black kid, unalive your brother in his own neighborhood, and nobody did shit. Nobody retaliated. But if it was some gang shit, it'd have been a retaliation immediately against another black gang. But since it was a white man who came to your neighborhood and unalived your brother and then made a mockery of it, you didn't do shit. Make it make sense. So we need to fucking come together and stop this nonsense. And we are. And this is what people are afraid of. This is why they're issuing public threats now. That threat should be met seriously. It should be taken seriously. And an appropriate response is necessary. You're going to threaten us, which means really you're threatening our women, our children, our wives, and our girlfriends. You're threatening black women because we know that you'll shoot black women too. You're threatening our mothers. You're threatening our 10-year-old brothers and our 5-year-old sons. Yeah, I said 5-year-olds. As I said, when there's war is a green light, they shooting, man. Kids was getting shot in that shit and unalive too. As I said, I know that for a fact. So again, I'm not here to foment violence. They're fomenting violence. They're issuing public threats and green lights, not me. I'm just here to respond and let my people know. Do not be discouraged by this. Do not be bamboozled. They're doing this because they see publicly that we're coming together. And they're going to make efforts to undermine our ambition to unite. Why? I explained it. They understand. Who are they? Every fucking body. Everybody understands that the moment the black man gets it, the moment that he comes together and unites and understands who the author of his ills really is, when he really understands this and digests it, our ass is in trouble. We're done. So they're going to make every effort possible. History teaches us this, to make sure that we do not unite. We must be smarter and learn from history. Understand the tactics and antics that they are going to employ to keep us separated and overcome that nonsense. We're bigger and stronger and more intelligent than that. They don't think so, but I do. I know we are. So, whoever is issuing public threats, deal with it. This ain't no game. The first time they come to our neighborhood and let off one damn round, make them pay. They're going to be hell to pay. Make it where they never want to come back. Make it where they say, let's not try that shit again. Look at what just happened. And that's the only way that this sort of shit is going to stop. They got the nerve to put out a statement, a public statement. Who they think we are? Stand up, black man. So if this is true, I don't have any reason to doubt it, but I don't know. This is the word out there. Then deal with it accordingly. I'll be back today. We got shit we got to do. We got shit we got to work out. In the meantime, stay free, people.